This is the core 6-person instant cabin tent, and my honest first take after hauling it out for several weekends is that it delivers on speed and comfort, as long as you know what you're getting. The name Instant is not hype. I unfold it, walk the corners out, and extend the steel legs until they click, and the main structure is standing in about a minute. In real camping use, the full pitch with stakes, rainfly, and guy lines takes me closer to 5 to 10 minutes, which still feels quick when daylight is fading or a drizzle is moving in. Key features that matter to me are the 11 by 9 foot floor, a 72-inch center height, and those pre-attached poles. The cabin shape gives me real standing room, not just at the center, but across most of the space because the walls are more vertical than a dome. 2 queen air beds do fit side by side like the box says, though that turns it into a bunk room with little walking space. In my opinion, 3 people with gear is the sweet spot, and 4 works fine if everyone packs smart. I've used it solo and as a pair with a queen mattress, and it feels like a small room, not a tent. From my experience, ventilation is a big win here. There's a full mesh ceiling and adjustable lower vents near the floor. That combination pulls cooler air in low and lets warm air vent out the top. With the fly off on a hot night, it's breezy and open, almost like a screened porch. On clear nights, I've laid back and watched the sky through the roof mesh, which is one of the reasons I keep reaching for this shelter when the forecast looks kind. Weather protection has been solid in normal rain. The fabric is rated to 1200 millimeters, the seams are taped, and the rain fly covers the roof well. For anyone new, that 1200 millimeters rating is a measure of water resistance. It handles typical showers, though it's not built for mountaintop storms. In straight-down rain, I stayed dry. In sloppy, wind-driven rain, I could feel the limits. The fly is a cap, not a full-coverage wrap. So side windows depend on their zippered panels to keep water out. I had one blustery afternoon where I was glad I took the time to stake every point and put out all the guy lines. If you're new to guy lines, they're just tension cords that pull the structure tight and keep the walls from flapping. Don't skip them when wind picks up. The tall cabin walls catch gusts like a kite, so I wouldn't choose this for exposed ridgelines or serious storms. It's a car camping tent with a focus on convenience and space, and it excels in that lane. The day-to-day livability is where it shines. The doorway is big, the 5 windows bring in loads of light, and the gear loft plus the hanging wall organizer keep small stuff off the floor. The lantern hook is centered and actually useful. I do wish it had a second door. With a full house, one door means someone crawls over someone eventually. That said, the single door cuts drafts on cool nights and keeps the layout simple. Materials feel exactly like a modern family tent should. The body and fly are 68D polyester, which is light, quick to dry, and easy to handle. The floor is polyethylene, basically a tough tarp. It's waterproof and confidence-inspiring on wet ground. It's also crinkly and not the softest under bare feet, but I'll take durability over plush here. I always use a footprint or a tarp underneath to protect against rocks and stick ends. If you're new to the bathtub floor term, it means the floor material curves up the sides a few inches to keep groundwater from sneaking in at the edges. It's a simple detail that really helps in puddly campsites. I've had no issues with the steel legs bowing or bending, and the telescoping action is sturdy when clean. If grit gets in the joints, it can feel sticky, so I wipe the legs before collapsing the tent. The hub system feels secure, and as long as I don't force it, it stays smooth. The part that needs the most care is the door zipper. The storm flap likes to wander into the teeth, especially if the door is under tension from a tight pitch. I've learned to keep the door zipped while staking the corners, then unzip and zip again to make sure the track isn't pulled too tight. Two-handed zipping, one hand guiding the flap away, the other driving the slider, has probably saved the zipper a dozen times. Packing it up takes a little patience. It's not heavy compared to canvas, but with everything in the bag, it's a long, rigid bundle. I'd call it roughly 4 feet end to end. That's totally fine for a car, but it's not backpacking gear, and it's awkward if you're hiking far from a parking spot. Getting it back into the carry bag is the trickiest moment of the whole process. The key for me is to push as much air out while folding, line the roof panels flat, then roll tight from the opposite end of the bag opening. If I rush it, the zipper on the bag fights me. Use cases are clear. It's perfect for family car camping, quick weekend trips, and festivals, where an easy setup and a bright, airy interior make the stay more relaxed. I'd recommend this for folks who want standing room without fuss, who camp in fair to moderate weather, and who value fast setup over ultralight gear. If you expect harsh wind and heavy, sideways rain, or you need something to take deep into backcountry sites, I'd look at lower profile designs with full coverage flies. Let me lay out what I consider the key features in plain terms, the stuff that actually affects a night outdoors. The 11 by 9 foot floor fits 2 queens or gives real walkable space for 3+ bags. The 72-inch peak height means I change clothes standing up. The pre-attached steel and fiberglass frame clicks into place with no pole sorting. The 1200mm H2O block fabric and taped seams keep normal rain out, and the cap fly gives me airflow without turning the tent into a greenhouse. The mesh ceiling is huge for star viewing, and the ground vents keep air cycling. The gear loft and wall organizer make it easy to find my headlamp at 3 a.m. The single door and cap-style fly are the main trade-offs. None of that surprised me, and it all lines up with what I felt on site. From my experience, the comfort-to-effort ratio is what sells this tent. I arrive, I click it up, I stake it out, I toss the rainfly on if needed, and I'm done. I don't overheat while pitching. I can host 2 kids on cots and still step between them. On a humid night with the fly off, it breathes. On a drizzly morning with the fly on, it stays calm inside. When the wind picks up, I hear the walls flap and I feel the structure flex a bit. And that's my cue to add guy lines or move to a more sheltered spot. It's honest about its limits. If you're new to tents, a couple quick notes. Water resistance numbers are a guide, not a promise. Site selection and staking matter more than people think. Guying the corners and midpoints is free stability. A footprint protects your floor and keeps mud off, which makes packing up way easier. Zippers last longer when you take tension off the track and run them steady instead of yanking them fast. In my opinion, Core nailed the core idea here. Fast setup, real headroom, and enough weather protection for normal camping. The tent isn't trying to be everything. It's a roomy cabin for people who camp out of a car and care about an easy camp routine. It trades storm armor and backpacking weight for comfort and speed, and that's a fair trade for most weekend trips. I'd recommend this for couples who want a bedroom they can stand in, families who don't want to wrestle poles while wrangling kids, and casual campers who love open-air nights and bright mornings. It's perfect for state parks, drive-in campgrounds, and backyard overnighters where you want fast setup and a clean, organized interior. In conclusion, this tent does what its name promises. I set it up fast, I live well inside it, and I accept the compromises. Treat the zippers kindly, use a footprint, stake and guy it out, and it will reward you with an easy camping routine and a breezy, upright space that feels more like a small room than a shelter. You can view detailed information about the Core Instant Cabin tents in the comments section. Thank you for watching.